All right, it is time for us to continue. Like we said, thank God it's a Friday.
It being a Friday, we always been the vibes that you never even expect. And going further for the weekend, business community.
Vibe in business.
Yeah, vibe in business.
Manyi bantu ba Uganda bagala vibe. Ugandans, man.
Ate goyagala chi.
Jagala sente.
I want to take me to Dubai.
Well, besides that, now let's try to look at this particular one. We had a sit down with one of the musicians, celebrities, as well as a businesswoman. And
very jolly.
Exactly. And she was taking us through life and how she balances two things at the same time: music, career,
and business.
Take this away with this particular report coming in with Angela Katatumba.
Angela Franklin Kayongani Katatumba is a Ugandan singer, songwriter, philanthropist, diplomat and businesswoman. She is the daughter of the Honorary Consul of Pakistan in Uganda, His Excellency Professor Boni Bombesa Katatumba, and Gertrude Katatumba, the proprietor of AFK Beauty Clinic in Kabalagala. We had a sit-down interview with the jolly Angela Katatumba to understand what it takes to run two careers at the same time. Angela Katatumba reveals that with the lockdown, it created time for her to concentrate on her musical career, and with the fact that she produced some hit songs, this meant that she could also get into the music business.
It was beneficial to me because the businesses were closed, courts were closed, because half the time I'm doing business, I'm in courts. So when all that happened, it gave me time to do music. So for me, I kind of turned the negative into a positive, and that's when I released Tony Lamida. That was a monster hit. That's when I started doing Love Me and all these other songs, and now Wendy. Yeah, so to me, it may God rest the souls of those people who lost their lives in COVID, because it was serious. But on my end, it just gave me a chance to finally get into the music business.
Angela does say that music for now isn't profitable enough. That's why she's more concentrated on her family businesses.
Of course, the businesses are way more profitable. That runs our lives. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just hoping that it can become more profitable. That's why I'm now in the business.
On the matter of holding two careers at the same time, Angela believes if one is focused and plans accordingly, that it is possible to manage both music and other businesses.
It's very, very easy when you're organized. My parents raised me to be organized. When you're organized, things are simple. When you're disorganized, that's when problems start. You know, this is now a period for business. We're not making money. I'm trying to fill up the hotels. I'm getting conferences. And then I start disappearing to go to the studio. You know, that's a conflict right there. So sometimes I know when to focus on the businesses and when to focus on the music and on the charity. I just make sure that my calendar is organized. So I know this is for charity, this is for music, this is now for business.
She emphasizes that it's important for Ugandan performing artists to always have a second plan by setting up other business ventures, since music is tricky. And to her, it is more of a marathon race.
I think it's so important with music, always, whether at a later age or an earlier age. I'm just lucky that my parents just thrust me into the business. So I've known business all my life. But I would always encourage anybody in music to always not focus on music a lot, because music is a lot of pressure, it's a lot of money, because there's a lot of pressure. We want hits, you know, we need a hit song. No, you know what I'm saying? Because their time is not your time. You know, you might have the best voice in the world, you might have the best management, but it's just not your time. You know what I'm saying? And with others, they just enter the music industry one day and they're everywhere, and then they disappear forever. So it's tricky. It's tricky if you're running fast or if you're running slow. So the most important thing is to understand that music is a marathon. It's a marathon race. So when you take it as a marathon, then you understand that you can't financially depend on something that does not bring you income all the time. Since it's a marathon, income might come today, it might come in a year later, it might come in 3 months, it might come in, that's not reliable money. So you have to have your reliable business always that will back up, and that's where you should focus. so that you don't get so frustrated with the music industry.
The Katatumba family had a court battle between them and the renowned businessman Mukesh Shukla. Angela says that according to the court ruling, they won the case, though Mukesh still failed to abide by the rulings.
My father won the case in 2014, before he passed, and it's against Shumuk. He's the greatest enemy, Mukesh Shukla. And I can talk about it confidently because I'm talking about the ruling. In the ruling, it was a strong ruling in our favor, in Katatumba's favor, where the ruling states that Shumuk had fraudulently put the titles of Hotel Diplomat, Katatumba Suites, and our island in his names, and he was ordered to cancel those titles and put them back in Katatumba's names. And he was ordered to pay my dad 300 million for damaging his name in defamation and others, and then he was ordered also to pay the balance because he was supposed to buy Katatumba Suites for $5 million. He paid 3 and refused to pay 2. So the $2 million with interest rate and all that comes up to $1 million every year. So as of this year, it's now $14 million, and that's why he's still at Katatumba Suites. Of course, he hasn't paid us back. So now, and then he appealed. So we've stalled on the appeal, but now we're just hoping to finish up, get the appeal heard, and God willing, we throw him out. So now my target is to get him out of Katatumba Suites. So the battle is still going on, and it's unfortunate that he's one of the few people that do not trust the court system. Okay, he lost, but still, what he's doing is what they call forum shopping. If you have a ruling that is not in your favor, and then you use this, you open the same case with the same facts in different courts. So that's what he's been doing for the last few years, it is the abuse of the court process, and that's what we've been dealing with. But we are praying that very soon we hear the appeal and we get our inheritance back in town.
Nearly 2 years after the government shut down bars and nightclubs and banned outdoor musical performances and other entertainment activities to combat COVID-19, the country's entertainment sector was reopened, and the music business is running again and more aggressively this year.
Yes.
Okay.
City alone, Sinze.
Well, the music business back and running greatly. These people are now making the money again. They are signing contracts again. They're making sure that they are. However, there is also a challenge whereby some of them are being booked in areas and they don't perform after eating some good money. So still a bigger worry in there.
Should go to court.
Well, that aside, now let's take a look at the weather updates.
When someone comes, you paid your kabane. Go to court.
There was an artist
go to the nearest police.
Who was actually told to sweep Masaka City for non-performing. So in the morning, his team, social media.
There is someone called Masaka City.
No, in Masaka City, they were told to sweep the streets of Masaka City for non-performing, and they did community service. Let's now take a look at the weather updates as of today.
And in regards to weather, we always speak and highlight your forecast for areas to begin with for Entebbe and Wakiso district. This morning, it has been a warm morning, highlighted on with at least the bright sunshine coming out there at 26 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, you realize it's going to maintain the same temperatures at 27 degrees Celsius, highlighting also characteristic of a bit of sunny. But in the evening, it will just drop on 1 degree Celsius, making it 26. And the night there will be a bit of cold, warm temperatures, but not so hot in the night. And that is for the Entebbe and Wakiso areas in regards to weather. How about how wind will be traveling? Actually, there is no any highlight on the way how wind will be flowing towards kilometers per hour. But the temperatures will be high at 27 degrees Celsius, whereas they'll be low at 23 degrees Celsius. Humidity will be faring at 85% and visibility will be seen at 9.66 kilometers, whereas the dew point will be at 21, making a waxing dubious moon phase.
Well, to Kampala, that is Uganda's capital. In the morning, 26 degrees Celsius. The afternoon will shoot up to 28 degrees Celsius before going low at 23 degrees Celsius in the evening till 21 degrees Celsius in the overnight. No expectations of rains today, as in Kampala we expect partly cloudy and partly sunny from morning till the afternoon. Well, checking out the other details regarding the wind speed, humidity. The humidity will be at 88%. Then the visibility will be moving at 11 point. Visibility, you'll be getting the visibility at 11.27 kilometers. Then the wind will be moving at 5 kilometers per hour. The dew point will be 20 degrees Celsius. Then the UV index is 0 or out of 10. Then with the waxing gibbous of the moon phase.
Very well, and that is for the people in Kampala. How about when we cross to our immediate neighbors in Nairobi, Kenya? This morning, it was a bit coldly in Nairobi, Kenya, whereby they had a 23 degrees Celsius, and the afternoon will be at least moderately warmer, 28 degrees Celsius, whereas the evening temperatures will be a bit coldly again at 20 degrees Celsius, and in the overnight, they will surely be experiencing a cold night at 16 degrees Celsius. And the highest temperatures, or how low they will be for the areas in Nairobi, Kenya, we're going to be looking at how they'll be faring and where the moon will be traveling fast or very at a slow pace, and whether they will be experiencing any new moon phase or any waxing there. And you realize that 29 degrees Celsius will be high and lower at 14 degrees Celsius, whereas the humidity will be crossing around 81% and the visibility will be seen at 9.66 kilometers, whereas there is no any determination at this point for the wind, but the dew point will be made at 15 degrees Celsius and the moon phase will be a waxing gibbous around the people in Nairobi and Kenya.
Well, besides that, now let's look at today's focus for Kigali in Rwanda and the land of 1,000 hills, Mwaramutse, Banyarwanda. And in the morning, we expect 25 degrees Celsius, the afternoon 28 degrees Celsius, with partly cloudy, partly sunny weather. And then evening 20 degrees Celsius and overnight 17 degrees Celsius. So we don't expect any rain from the capital of Rwanda. Away from that particular one, now let's look at the wind strength and the wind speed of Rwanda, humidity, and how it will be faring from Rwanda's capital. And speaking of which, we're looking at here with humidity moving at 85%, the dew point 16 degrees, then the wind will be moving in a direction of 3 kilometers per hour, then visibility will be at 9.66 kilometers, with a waxing gibbous as the moon phase, and the UV index is 0 out of 10. The highs will be recorded at 29 degrees, while the lows will be recorded at 16 degrees.
Very well, moving further, we now cross to Kinshasa, the DRC, that is the Democratic Republic of Congo, where we see hot temperatures throughout the day, highlighting a 29 degrees Celsius this morning, meaning that they had a very warm temperature, and still they're having it that will cross on additionally at 34 degrees Celsius, meaning the afternoon will be very shiny there and temperatures will be warm, and in the evening they will be experiencing 28 degrees degrees centigrade there, and that will be indicating that their temperatures will continuously be warm, whereas they will drop in the overnight. Just 2 will drop, but still they're going to have heat in the night in regards to pressure and temperature there. And whereas we look at that now, we cross to how weather will be high and low around Kinshasa, DRC. High will be around 34 degrees Celsius, and the lower will be recording at 25 degrees Celsius. Humidity indicating a 92%, whereas the visibility will be seen at 9.66 kilometers. Wind will surely be seen and strengthly moving at 2 kilometers per hour, making a dew point of 23 degrees Celsius, and the moon phase will be waxing dubious around people in Kinshasa and the DRC.
Okay, and with that, let's head to South Africa. As today's forecast for Cape Town International Airport, Western Cape. And the morning, 27 degrees Celsius, with partly cloudy and partly sunny, but when they reach the afternoon, expectations of a cloudy weather is expected with 28 degrees Celsius, and it will remain the same till the evening with 22 degrees Celsius, and overnight with 21 degrees Celsius. That is for the people in South Africa. Let's look at the humidity there. We'll have 88% of that. Visibility at 9.66 kilometers. Then wind will be moving at 3 kilometers per hour. Then the dew point 13 degrees, UV index 0 out of 10. And well, that is it for the weather forecast today on Smart Means Business.
Very well, and it's still a Friday. We speak about celebrity talks for our discussions, and that is the theme driving for a Fridays as we head towards the weekend. We earlier on had Angela Katatumba highlighting on how she is trying to thrive, balancing business, balancing her personality, as well as what she likes to do, that is music. But away from that, we have seen also a number of people trying to prepare for a day like this as we enter the weekend. Let us now dive briefly before we enter the break, that perspective of addressing how do we welcome a weekend. Should it always be an excitement like I'm expressing now? How should it always be? How should we prepare for a weekend? Considering there are people who work on a Saturday, there are people who do not even have weekends, actually. There are people who do not celebrate any weekdays. There are people who do not go to church, because we expect the events we're expecting parties, we're expecting church. Or right now, today we're expecting church,
Muslims,
yes,
Muslims are heading to the mosque, Juma prayers, then Saturday, Seventh-day Adventists,
and Sunday for the
Christian
community. And how do we prepare for all that forthcoming? Just take us through.
Well, preparations mainly for the weekend also depends on your time frame, your work frame at work. How do you manage your time at work? In most cases, like you say, there are people who don't even celebrate any of these days because they're working full time. Most of those who are working in the service delivery in areas that are termed as essential. However, the good thing about that is that some of them work under shifts. But during the time of the shifts, the other time you only have it to rest. Then once your shift gets, you're supposed to be there fresh and ready to go again. But for the weekend, for the people now, like when you look at government officials working from public offices, for them, once they leave work as early as Friday, I think the weekend kicks off immediately at 5 for them. And preparing also takes us back to, let's look at it in a business angle, whereby if you're running a business in any way and you're setting room for, maybe if at all it's a day off for you,
or even you're going,
it is also to help you refresh your mind. Exactly. It is to help you refresh your mind that by the time you head back to your workplace or your business, you're ready to go again, because there's a lot of stress attached to your workplace, and there's a lot of stress attached to your business. So you really need some time off it and to at least relax your mind.
And then for the people, like I said earlier, inventors, maybe you're in production, you're going to the farm, you're going to break off from your shop. Can you make sure you have left someone behind? Because at the end of the day, you want to leave that business running, right? Can you make sure you entrust someone you trust, someone who is capable of actually not just swindling your funds at the end of the day? Make sure, how are you going to do that? You know how you make money on a Friday, or let's say Saturday. You know, a Saturday in ZIMBABWE, this is the income that I get on Saturday. This is how I sell on a Friday. So when you have got or if you have contracted someone for a day or for just 24 hours, make sure you tell them, let them know that this is the profit you make. I'm telling you, even when that profit is not going to be there, because preferences change by the day, and I come to realize that is what you make, it's going to be on me. So I have to make sure I put that on table. I make sure that money has to be there. That profit has to be there. In the end of the day, I'll have an excuse to explain to you, you know what, the other day, yes, we anticipated a 50,000 profit, but this didn't happen. But I made sure I put it. Maybe if you work it out, you can give it to me, you can pay me back. That is how it works. Someone will entrust you again with the business.
And so it is always time for you to use it as a break, to at least set some resolutions for your business life, and also for your mental health as well. Because doing the same thing can be hectic at a time, and it can be draining. So if at all you have time, like the weekend or time off your work schedule, try to resort to at least making room for leisure activities so that you can relax and get back to your normal business life. Well, that is all with these particular discussions. But later on after the show, we shall be discussing more from the world of entertainment, looking at record labels and the business in the music industry. This is SMP.
After the break.
Exactly.